The mom wants to control her child. She wants to be 3 steps ahead. And so are you not getting Munchausen syndrome by proxy vibes from this mom? It's your fault, lady! Coach Greg, in today's video, it's your parents' fault. I'm not making this shit up, but if you're a kid and you're fat, you should blame your parents. And my personal opinion is this is abuse. And if you have a morbidly obese child, that child should be removed from you. As in, social services should knock on your door and remove your child. You don't deserve to have kids if you can't raise a healthy child. Many of you are going to say, no, you're going too hard on them. It's not real abuse. If your parents were giving your children drugs, alcohol, poison, would you say that that's a fit parent? Of course not. Well, how is this any different? You're taking years away from their lives, and they don't know any better. And so you're training your child to become obese when they get older. It is your job, it is your duty to raise a healthy child. And if you can't do so, then you don't deserve your child. And so the title of the video here, it's 100 Kilo Kids. And so this involves Britain's fattest kids, and they have a special hospital for these individuals. After all, if you're morbidly obese, you're literally sick. Obviously, if somebody's sick, we're going to try to make them healthier. And if that means taking the kids away from their parents, then so be it.
85% of parents don't recognize their child's overweight.
And so being obese is so normal today that 85% of parents don't even recognize when their kids are actually overweight. 85% of parents don't believe that they're shitty, horrible parents, that they are neglecting and mistreating their child and putting their child in harm's way.
The ultimate responsibility for the care of that child lies with their parents.
And so as he states, the responsibility for the care of the child, it relies on the parents. Tommy, who's now 14, he's close to 300 pounds. He's been in treatment for the last 18 months. And since that time, he's gained almost 100 pounds.
Despite 18 months of treatment, Tommy has put on 6 stone and his weight is spiraling out of control.
How do you think that treatment is going? Is it in fact working? Are the parents ensuring that this child eats properly, gets enough exercise? I don't think so. Imagine you bring your child that's sick to the hospital and 18 months later, all that's happened is they've gotten sicker. How would you feel as a parent? Well, that's exactly what's going on.
If you're just following the 1600 calories diet, so it's not compliant.
And so do you really think that that kid is actually following that 1600 calorie a day diet while gaining 84 pounds in a year and a half? Listen, you can argue all you want, but it's still calories in, calories out. And what I'm seeing in this video is that the parents are enablers. They listen to their baby cry a couple times, complain, "Meh, I want the candy, I want the chocolates." But instead of that, they watch too many stupid freaking documentaries of healthy at every size, body positivity, love yourself. That's what Lizzo said.
You deserve all the space in the world.
Tell these people to shut the Turk up and start giving a shit about their health.
How is your back pain?
I'm getting pain a lot on my knees now. I've done something to my ankle. I don't know what. It hurts a bit.
And why do you think he's getting that pain in his knee and his ankle? And why do you think he's diagnosed with chronic fatigue? Do you think it might have anything to the fact that the guy weighs close to 300 pounds? How are you going to go out and play football, rugby, to play sports at school, or even go for a walk when you're morbidly obese? She literally tries to convince the doctor, don't put him on such a low-calorie diet. Oh, he can't handle it. He's got chronic fatigue. You can't make him exercise. He needs to rest. It's your fault, lady! And so they decide, we're not letting you go back to your parents. You're being admitted. How is this different than if they had some kind of disease, some kind of illness? You wouldn't let them go home. Say, look, you have to stay in the hospital under medical supervision. We need to ensure that you're healthy. And so that is what they're going to do. And so she might present as being a good mother, concerned. But what the reality is, she is trying to protect that child from doing anything. She wants to feed him. She gives him extra chocolates. She does everything to literally sabotage his health. He's now... Oh, shit. She's literally giving this kid extra calories in secret, extra junk food and so on, and preventing him from doing extra cardio, making excuses for him. And so how is this not an example of childhood neglect and abuse?
You had quite a big increase in weight, probably about 3 kilograms a month. So What's been going on?
Eating too much and not exercising. And stop yapping, those of you thinking, no, it's her genetics. She has a slow metabolism. What's slow is her ability to get off the couch and move and to put the freaking fork down.
She's twice the average weight for her age.
She's very clever of finding ways to get food.
She's 5. She's clever at finding ways to get food in your house. She's 5. You can lock your doors, lock the cupboards, hide the food so she can't get to it, that she can't reach it. She's 5. Do you really think this is so complicated? You're a freaking parent and she's 5 years old, outsmarting you. Oh, she came in and snuck some pepperoni and some cheese and so on. Lock the freaking door.
People assume that I've got no rules, no discipline, no boundaries, which is not true.
Exhibit A. Does it look like you set boundaries and that you're following through with them? She literally grabs food from the fridge whenever she wants. She's freaking 5.
Liliana is on a calorie-controlled diet set by the clinic, but it's not going to plan.
Well, clearly, she's obviously eating more calories than she should be, or she wouldn't be gaining so much weight.
I shall do this until she's eaten.
Yeah, and so if she cried like that until you gave her a cigarette or a line of creatine, or perhaps some alcohol, would you then give it to her? Of course you wouldn't. And so how is it any different when she cries and begs and pleads for some junk food?
Because this morning, you took the block of cheese and there's a massive bite mark in my cheese.
You're feeding her pasta with cheese? What are you giving her, Kraft freaking dinner?
Shut up.
Pardon?
Shut up.
Mummy doesn't like it when you speak to me like that.
Oh, and shut up, Mom. Mom says, pardon? Shut up! Were you not listening to me, Mom? I told you to shut the fuck up, Mom! Mom said, oh, I don't enjoy it if you speak to me in that fashion. What kind of parent are you? And where's the dad? Oh, let me guess, he's not present. He's not around. Shocker! I don't like it when she treats me like that. She puts the oil in the basket.
It places the lotion in the basket.
Bro, this is not going good.
Because she's constantly hungry. And it makes me feel like a crap mum.
You are a crap mom. Sorry to break it to you. Oh no, you're doing so great. It's such a challenge to be a mom. You're failing, Mom. You are a failure. You see how sometimes you just need to tell it like it is? You just need to speak the truth. Mom, you're failing your daughter. You're not being a good mom. You don't have boundaries. You essentially suck. And why do you think that is? Because there is no father present. Sorry. But Coach Greg, why can't you just be nice? She's a female. How is it working for her so far?
An 18-stone teenager has been rushed in after his hip collapsed.
And so y'all just think it's the appearance. Oh, it doesn't matter how you look. I'm not talking about the aesthetics. Yeah, it's not attractive to be morbidly obese. What we're talking about is the wear and tear, the problems medically on the human body. This kid's BMI is close to 45. He's injured his hip, has to get surgery. You're 50 times more likely to require this surgery when you become this fat. And so the body, it's not made to weigh over 300 pounds, to have to support and carry all that extra weight. And so what you're doing is you're wearing down your body. And so what's going to happen is that our tax money is eventually going to have to pay for your stupid eating practices.
You see them all the time and you don't realise how much weight he's put on.
And so let's just ignore the problems and see him every day. Let's not ever ask him what he weighs. Let's never talk about it. Let's never bring it up. Let's never watch a Coach Greg video. Let's just wait until he needs an operation. Or perhaps let's just wait until he dies. And so his drug is to just sit in his room and play the PlayStation 4, all the while eating chips, candies, pops, and so on. The mom says, oh, I don't know what he does. How would I know? He's living in your freaking house. Last I checked, you're the parent, and he has to do what you say. But no, I'm just going to let him walk into his room with all kinds of junk food, eat himself silly, and get to being over 300 pounds. And so they put him in the hospital, 147 kilograms, about 325 pounds. The mom's going over the activities. And remember, this is after 18 months of working with this family in order to try to help him to lose weight, of which he gained 84 pounds. The mom now says, what is this? Walking breaks? Eating healthy food? I could have got him to do this at home. You had 18 months.
I just don't see that that's a very
intense plan.
And so she's saying, this isn't an intense plan. It's not hard enough. I could have got him to do this at home. What does she want him to do? 4 hours of jogs a day and not eat anything? I mean, really, you have to understand that it's very easy for him to now lose weight. He's clearly been overeating. He's been gaining so much weight that all he has to do is be normal and he's going to start to lose some weight.
It's day 3 of Tommy's weight loss program. The team is attempting to cut his usual 4,000 calories a day in half and double his exercise.
Now remember, it's not hard to double your exercise when you do absolutely none whatsoever. He sits in his room and plays video games every day. And so is it really too much to ask to go from doing, for example, 10-minute walks a day to doing 2 10-minute sessions? But the mom says, hey, whoa, slow down. Remember, this is the same mom that says that's all he's doing. He's got chronic fatigue syndrome. He needs to rest. And we need to give him more candies and chocolates. Look at these photos. He's not eating all this healthy food.
And he's not getting enough calories to keep him going like that.
I mean, he can't possibly survive on 2,000 calories. He won't have nearly enough energy to survive by eating that way. Mom, he's got 150 extra pounds of fat on his body. I'm sure he can use some of that.
My understanding of chronic fatigue is that actually they do encourage their patients to continue daily exercise.
And so just because you have chronic fatigue syndrome, it doesn't mean that you need to sleep 24 hours a day. You can still go for a regular daily walk and you can come back then and get your rest.
Having your control taken away, I think that's the hardest thing. You're a bit defeated.
And so she just stated what I think we all know. She's saying getting your control taken away, well, that is the hard part. The mom wants to control her child. She wants to be 3 steps ahead. And so are you not getting Munchausen syndrome by proxy vibes from this mom? She wants to be able to control her child. And the doctors are now taking that control away from her. They're trying to make her child healthier. And she's doing her best to keep her child from getting the help and care that he needs.
Not listen to the parent and take control of my child. We didn't agree for that. You need to listen to me.
And so the mom is saying, you need to listen to me. I didn't agree to putting my child in the hospital and letting you, the doctors, do what you think is best for him. I'm still in control. And you have to listen to me. And so they're essentially trying to convince this mom, look, do you not think that we'd be better off without you? Let us just take care of your child for a week without you interfering, and maybe, just maybe, we can get your child healthy.
It's not always going to be the right thing though, is it? And he's my little boy.
Yeah, he formerly was your little boy. He's not your little boy anymore. He's a very large and obese young lad. And if you want him to become an older man, you got to get him healthy right now.
After initially losing weight, the team has spotted a worrying sign.
And so after the first several days where he was losing weight every single day, the weight loss, it stopped. And they noticed he's eating gummy bears, candies, and so on that the mom just happened to bring in. Great job, Mom. And notice how the mom herself is well over 300 pounds. Are you noticing this? And so how do you think that the mom is going to help her child to lose weight when she can't lose weight herself? She is not a role model. If she were to take charge of her own life and lose some of the weight, she could be an excellent role model for her children. Hey kids, we've been overweight. It's a mistake. We need to do something about it. Look at me. Copy what I'm doing. Let's all go for a walk together. Let's now eat something healthy. But no, she sneaks in candies to give her obese child in the weight loss hospital.
He has done nothing but stick exactly to plan.
And so he's followed the plan 100% to a T. And I, as his mom, a little bit disappointed that he's not getting the results that he should have got. Mom, you were feeding him junk food in secret. You were giving him candies. Was I, though? Was I really? No.
15-year-old Harry is back in to see Julian following his hip operation.
And so he had the hip operation, additionally loses 4 kilograms, which is great, and then gains 2 kilograms back. Everyone is willing to make change for about a day or two. When it really matters, when you realize it's life or death. And then you soon forget, and you think, yeah, it won't happen to me. Medical science, it'll fix me. It won't always.
What things do you think you can do?
This is what he gets upset about.
Yeah, I know, and it's upsetting. It's difficult.
Let's stop treating him like a freaking baby. You were 110 kilograms, now you're 112 and a half. What have you done differently that caused this? He starts to get upset. Oh, let's not make him upset. Why are you being so upset? No, don't feel upset. Feel upset! You're blowing it! What's wrong with you? Wake up, kiddo! It's time to be a man! What the fuck have you been putting into your mouth? Tell us now!
Some people, you can see the hurt they feel from what you said. It gives me no great satisfaction doing that.
So what if it hurts? Somebody has to tell this kid what he needs to hear, not what he wants to hear. Oh, it's okay. You're healthy at every size. We love you and don't care if you're overweight. You need to hear this. If you keep eating like this, you're going to die. We hate seeing you eat like this. What are you going to do to fix the cooking problem, sir? Talk to him like that and make him become a man.
It's not a blame thing. It's not blame. It's a portion of responsibility, yeah.
Oh, it's not a matter of blame. It's a matter of responsibility. Call it whatever the fuck you want. It's his fault. He's old enough now to know better. The parents may have got him to this point, but it's on him now. And so, yeah, it's your fault. I'm blaming you, kiddo. It's your fault. What did you eat? You said you were going to lose weight, and now you're gaining weight. We just did a life-saving operation. It was very dangerous, and we barely got through it. And it's very likely we're going to have to do the other leg if you keep going. Stop trying to coddle these kids. My freaking goodness.
Would you like us to give you a more structured diet so you could actually just follow it?
So here's the problem. We're the parents. There's no way that that lady who looks to be about 100 years of age is this kid's mom. The parents are not present. Do you now understand the value of a family? Having a mom and a dad? That's right, I said it. Not being a single parent home with both parents present. You see how often this can lead to problems, disasters, and so on? And did you see how he treated his supposed grandmother who's there looking after him? It's not even her child. She is doing her best job to try and help this kid, and look how he's treating her.
He kept coming back, and then he kept leaving, and then he would come back and then say, oh, I'm leaving, and then, he kept doing that.
And so the kid's blaming the dad. He came and went and came back. I'm coming back, and then he went. Listen, I went to get the milk years ago. Will Tennyson, he turned out fine. And yeah, he was in fact overweight as a teenager, but look at him now.
I don't want to be like, that person that, finds every excuse.
And so I don't want to be the guy that makes excuses, but that's my excuse. And so kid, whatever the excuse is, how's it working for you? Now that we can blame it on your parents, your dad, your mom, I don't care who you want to blame it on. Whatever happened, happened. But what are you going to do about it now? You're the one who's suffering. You're the one that's going to die early. And so regardless of what got you there, you're the one that has to do something about it.
So one of the things that the gene does is it works in the brain and it affects your appetite.
Turns out that she doesn't have a gene that's working properly, and so her hunger, it's a lot higher than last time. Her ghrelin is way higher than normal. And so imagine you haven't eaten in 3 days. That's how hungry she feels all the time. Yes, obviously, people who are morbidly obese, they're hungrier than people who aren't. Some people are just hungrier than others. But that changes nothing to affect the problem. Just because you're hungrier doesn't mean you can't lose weight. Just because you're hungrier doesn't mean you need to eat pasta and blocks of cheese. When the mom says you want some strawberries and some grapes and she says no, and you then give her candies instead, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter!
The Rock knows it doesn't matter that you're hungry. Whether you're hungry or less hungry, you can make healthier choices. And so even if you have a reason for being morbidly obese, you can in fact still do something about it. Are you eating from my cookbook? If you're just eating fast food, pizzas, burgers, and so on from fast food restaurants when you're hungry, instead of eating from this cookbook when you're hungry, which person do you think is going to eat more calories? Of course, the one eating fast food. And so just because you have more ghrelin, that your genes are not working properly, that you have a slow metabolism, doesn't mean you can't do something about it, take ownership, and lose some of the weight. Not saying it's going to be easy, not saying we're all born equally, but I am saying that everyone can make smarter choices.
Because with this gene, what we find is your body is not very good at burning calories.
Well, so eat fewer of them. Does that make sense? If she eats salads, fruits, and vegetables, lean proteins, and so on, instead of chips, ice cream, candies, cakes, pastries, and so on, which person do you think is going to be heavier? And so just because you have an excuse, just because you have a medical diagnosis, doesn't mean that it's okay to eat anything that you want and use an excuse for weighing 300 pounds.
That is a massive relief. I now know that it is an actual medical condition.
And so what a relief, knowing that there's a reason why this kid is so freaking fat, overweight, and always hungry. How is that a relief? A relief would have been knowing that there's no medical problem with her whatsoever. Wouldn't it have been better news to say, no, she just eats too much junk, you need to do something about it? Rather than hearing she has a malfunctioning gene, that she's hungrier than normal and has a slower metabolism, that is a relief? What's wrong with you? Oh, what a relief, you have cancer. Oh, I was hoping I didn't have anything wrong with me and it would just get better. What a relief, it makes no sense, people. Think of what you're wishing for. Oh, I pray that there's a medical reason why she's so fat, always hungry, and can't control herself. I'd rather have no reason.
I feel like that I don't have to worry anymore about what people say.
Oh, I don't have to worry about what people say anymore. Yeah, she's now 30 years old in the future, she's 600 pounds, and she's in her early grave. I don't have to worry about what people say, though, but she had a medical condition. She's dead at 30, but she had a medical condition. And so take that, everybody saying bad things about her. Listen to yourself. That is not what you want.
She has to learn the routine of eating as a routine and as a behaviour rather than following her feelings.
Exactly. And so the doctor's telling her what she needs to hear, not what she wants to hear. Yeah, there's a reason, but it doesn't change the fact that we have to do something about it. She still has to go on a diet. She still has to eat healthy. She still has to exercise. And so how is knowing that there's a reason for this problem going to help at all?
137.
Yes!
No, 136.9.
He's lost 1.5 stone.
Lo and behold, 6 weeks later, guess what he does? Loses 1.5 stone. It's about 20 pounds. He loses 20 pounds in 6 weeks when he actually gives a shit, when he tries. And so for those of you saying, oh, it's a medical condition, it's not your fault. Look what happens when you try.
136.9.
Look at the smile on that kid's face. The knowledge that he was actually able to do it. He knew he could do it. We all knew he could do it. They just chose not to. For 18 months, he kept gaining weight. Suddenly, he's finally giving it a try. He's down 20 pounds in 6 weeks.
So it comes back to the basics. Who is responsible for their child's eating behaviours and what happens to them?
And so who exactly is responsible for the child's eating behaviours? Is it the parents? Is it the child's? I'm here to say it's the parents. When it's a child, your parents' responsibility is to teach that child how to eat. Once that child becomes an adult, once they become older, it's then on them. The parents' job responsibility is to learn to say no, to train and teach them effectively and not neglect their child's needs.
Maybe I could have been a stronger person in it. Maybe I could have said no a little bit more often.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I could have said no a little bit more often when he gained weight for 18 weeks under medical supervision. Maybe you could have not brought him candies at the hospital. Maybe you could have let other people take charge of his fitness journey.
But no one's going to take that control away from me again. So maybe I've become more focused.
But no one is going to take that control away from me ever again.
You have to work through the parents because they're the ones who are going to be the effectors of change. They're the ones who need to do it.
Exactly. The parents need to lose weight as well. If the parents as role models are weighing over 300 pounds, what chances do you think the child's going to be overweight? One obese parent, 50% chance your child's overweight. Two obese parents, 80% chance. And so parents, maybe the time is now for you to take control of your own lives. Parents interested in having more energy, more endurance, build more muscle, increase your metabolism, consider GO2 Max and Turk Builder. Code Greg, 15% off. Click the link in the description. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost your algorithm, like the video if you in fact liked it. Don't forget to watch either of these two bloops. And of course, the free diet and training program, it's close to 50 pages. It's free. It's on the website. You can get multiple choices of the exact calories that you need for your own diet. Remember, it's a customized plan. It's free. Giving away nearly 100,000 programs. 100,000. And so whether you need 3,000, 2,500, 2,000, 1,500 calories, we have the diet that you can follow. Head to the website right now. Circle Diet Book, My Life's Work, How to Lose Weight, Keep It Off for the Rest of Your Life, as well as Cookbook 3.1, various cookbooks, PDF, hard copy. Get to the website, code Greg 15% off. And until next time, I am out.